Hi, I'm Stephanie, and I'm here to show you how to use the Google Drive Backup and Sync application to make copies of the Google app resources included in your download. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is open up the directions on how to obtain these Google app resources. You cannot drag and drop them into your Google Drive or upload them in a web browser like you might do with a Microsoft Office file, a PDF file, an image, or a movie. You have to use this application in order to make yourself copies that you can edit, distribute, and use as you wish. So the first thing you're going to need to do is open up the directions and install this application on your computer. So this application works on Macs, Windows computers, and Chromebooks. So this will work on whatever platform you are working on. I already have the application installed on my computer, and it appears in this icon up here with the cloud and the arrow. So when you install the application on your computer, there are three very important things that you're going to have to do. The first thing you're going to have to do is sign into your Google account that you want to sync the files with. So in other words, you need to sign into the account to which you want all these files to populate in the Google Drive. The next thing you're going to be prompted to do when installing the application is to determine whether or not you want to use Google Drive as a cloud storage for folders on your computer. I chose not to do this, and so I've deselected the option to sync these folders on my computer. You can or cannot do this. It's not going to affect your ability to sync the Google app resources that you're trying to obtain copies of. What is important is to select the Sync My Drive to this computer, and this will be the third step when you're installing the application on your computer. So you want to make sure this box is selected and to sync everything in My Drive. You can alter the folder location for where this Google Drive is. It will tell you where that location is below this option here. You want to take note of that. On a Mac computer, the application is going to automatically create a link to your Google Drive in the sidebar of Finder. And on a Windows computer, it's going to automatically create a link to the Google Drive on your desktop. So once you have the software up and running, you're going to access the files that you want to copy to your Google Drive. So for this example here, I'm going to be copying 5 natural resources Google Classroom lessons. You'll see the Google files are saved as G Slides, G Docs, and G Forms. So regardless of the Google app resources you're trying to make copies of, you're going to follow these steps. So I'm going to select these 5 folders, which represent the 5 lessons, and I'm going to make a copy of them. The next thing I'm going to do is access my Google Drive folder. So I could do it here in the sidebar. I'm actually going to go up to the icon, which on a Mac computer is found in the upper right part of the screen. On a Windows computer, it would be found in the lower right part of the screen. And I'm going to select the Google Drive folder here. Now, the only thing I need to do now is I need to paste those 5 lessons. Now, I know that the app is working because I'm going to see these 2 spinning arrows, and this is syncing the files. So this could take some time depending on how many folders or files you are trying to sync to your Google Drive. This one is 96 files. It's only going to take a couple of minutes, but if you're trying to sync several units of Google Classroom lessons or PowerPoints, it could take at least an hour. So to see that this is working, I'm now going to access my Google Drive in a web browser. So I go to my drive, I can see that the folders are starting to populate. So it's just going to take a little bit of time. Eventually, I'm going to see all the lessons here. Now, while that's doing that, I do want to point out that there's alternative directions to making copies of any Google app resource that I have. So if you do not want to use this app, or if you can't use this app, there is a view-only link to those Google app resources in my Google Drive. Now, with this option, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to select the files that you want to copy, right click, choose make a copy, and then this is going to create a copy of those files in your general My Drive folder. So the reason why I don't like to do this is because one, you'll have to rename the files. They will all say copy of in front of the file name, and also you'll have to reorganize them. I really like using the Google Backup and Sync app because it keeps all these resources nicely organized by lesson or by unit. So now if we go back here to My Drive to see what's going on, we see that all 5 of these lessons have now been uploaded to My Drive, and I can open up these files without a problem. If you have any additional questions or need further support with this, please feel free to email me. My email address is dsj.elkowitz@gmail.com. Thank you for purchasing my resources at my TPT store.